Dear dreamer, dear lover, dear future sailor, are you aching so bad for the deep blue that you're ready to blow up your land life, buy a boat, and move onto it like a petite little hermit crab? I am no expert, and nobody knows the sea better than the sea knows herself. But I have spent 130 nights alone in the middle of the ocean, crossed the entire Pacific, nearly all of the Indian, and sailed over 23,000 nautical miles, and these are the steps that I took to start sailing solo offshore. First and foremost, I had a sailing dream and I believed in it. To make that dream come true, I started by taking lessons with the American Sailing Association. Then I bought a 13-foot daysailer. Mine was a sunfish, and I named her Queequeg after my favorite character in Moby Dick. Next, I started crewing for anybody who needed a body on board. I was doing weekly club races and offshore races. I joined a sailing club that let me rent boats that are bigger than 13 feet. I also got into delivering boats. All the while, I was devouring books by solo sailors like Tania Aebi, Joshua Slocum, and Bernard Moitessier. Then I decided I wanted a boat that could sail me around the world. I researched, spent a year looking, found her, took out a loan, and bought her. She's a 34-foot Ta Shing Panda with a cutter rig. I named her Juniper. To gain more sailing knowledge, I got my United States Coast Guard captain's license. I used the license to help fund my dream by taking people for day charters aboard Juniper. I also crewed on one-of-a-kind boats like Foggy, which was designed by the architect Frank Gehry. And I skippered for an international charter company. To see how Juniper would behave in heavy weather, I took her out in a near gale with 3 brave friends. I'm talking 35 knots of wind and small craft advisories. To get a taste of solo sailing, I did a 6-hour trip from Los Angeles to Catalina Island. It's this exquisite place full of dolphins, abalone shells, and wild buffalo. To prepare Juniper for solo passages, I added features like a self-steering wind vane, which works like an autopilot but uses the wind instead of electricity to steer. Finally, I did an overnight sail with a pro sailor who gave me feedback on my solo sailing techniques. Then I just went for it and sailed solo from San Diego to Hawaii. It took me 23 days. In the end, the journey was transcendental. Now I've sailed all the way from America to Africa, and I can still hear the sirens singing. So if you hear them too, start where you are. Take a class, step aboard, and say yes to the wilderness of waves.